Hello everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter connectors. Now, this is part number 15. So, in this session, what we are going to discuss, let's have a look over that. In this lecture, we will cover the following topics. And what are the following topics? In this session, we are going to cover contrasting connectors. As you know well that in all these sessions, we have been learning connectors. So, in this session, I'm going to discuss with you the contrasting connectors. After that, we'll define contrasting connectors. It means we'll define contrasting connectors. It means we'll have an introduction of contrasting connectors. After that, we'll discuss types of contrasting connectors. Then there are a few contrasting connectors which we are going to discuss, and these are on the other hand, this is one pair of connector. After that, we'll discuss while, and after that, we'll discuss whereas. So, we are going to discuss all these topics in this session. So, stay tuned with me and we'll discuss all these things clearly and in detail. First of all, we'll discuss what are contrasting connectors. Now, this is the definition of contrasting connectors. Contrasting connectors are used in English to highlight the differences or oppositions between two things, ideas, or statements. Now, whenever two or more ideas are described or explained, and we want to highlight the difference between the two, we need to put contrasting connectors to join those two sentences together. Okay, this serve an important role in both written and spoken language. So these are very important in both the forms of communication, that is either written or language. It means if I want to talk with someone, I can use these type of connectors. Moreover, if I want to write or if I want to make something in a document, I can also use it there by providing clarity and enhancing the coherence of arguments or narratives. Okay. Now, these connectors allow the speaker or writer to present contrasting viewpoints. Now, what is the aim of the speaker over here? It means these connectors it means the speaker is enabled to write or present contrasting viewpoints. It means if someone is saying something, he can on the other hand say something else, or which is contrary to what has been mentioned over here. Okay, so a person, he is allowed to contradict himself. It means if he is saying something, he can contradict himself in the another statement or another clause of the same sentence or facts in a clear and structured way, helping the audience to understand the relationship between different parts of a text or conversation. So it helps the audience in identifying the relationship between different parts of a text or conversation. Okay, if we are conversing, if we are talking on a particular topic, we can have both the negative and positive viewpoints of the same point or the same thing. For example, in a debate, we can make the facts in favor and against. So both of these can be shown in a single sentence or statement. Now, types of contrasting connectors. Now, what are the types of contrasting connectors? These are, first of all, we'll have on the one hand and on the other hand. It means on the one hand we say something else, and on the other hand we say something else. Okay, after that we'll discuss while, and after that we have whereas. Now, first of all, we'll discuss on the other hand and on the other hand. So this is a connector. Now you can see these two parts. It means whatever has been said. On the other hand, we are going to discuss something opposite to it, what we have mentioned in this statement. Okay. Now, first of all, we'll have meaning of on the other hand or on the other hand. The phrase on the other hand is used to introduce a contrasting point or perspective in relation to a previous statement. This pair is used to present two different viewpoints or aspects of an issue. Okay, so this pair, actually we join two sentences together or two clauses together with the help of on the other hand, and this pair shows the contradiction between the two clauses that we have connected with this connector. Aspects of an issue, it means this shows us the two different viewpoints. It means something, it can have an advantage or disadvantage. So both the advantages and disadvantages, or both the aspects of that particular point, can be shown in the single sentence or statement. Okay, or aspects of an issue showing contrast or balance in an argument or discussion. So this connector is very helpful while we are arguing over something, or while we are discussing about something. For example, if we are debating on something, we can show the two viewpoints of the same thing. That is either the favorable side, it means favor, and when we are against of it. Okay, so we can show the two viewpoints of the same thing that we are discussing in our statement. Now, on the one hand, starts the first part of the comparison. Now here, two statements or two situations are being compared. Okay, so on the one hand, it means in the first clause we are writing something presenting the first viewpoint or argument. Okay, on the other hand, now this phrase follows introducing a contrasting viewpoint or argument. It means whatever has been said in on the one hand will be contradicted in the clause which is introduced by the on the other hand. Okay, so for instance, it means, let us have some examples of it. On the one hand, the new policy could lead to economic growth. On the other hand, it might also increase inequality. Now here we are talking about the new policy. Okay, we are discussing about the new policy. So it has one advantage or one good thing in it, and another disadvantage, on the other hand, we have some disadvantage of it. So this new policy, on the one hand, the new policy could lead to economic growth. So it could lead to economic growth. It means it is a positive side of that. On the other hand, it might also increase inequality. So this is the negative point about the same policy. So for the same policy, we are discussing two viewpoints. One is positive and another is negative, and we are writing both the statement in a single sentence or in a single statement. Okay, so this is how we use on the one hand and on the other hand. Also, what we can do, we can write this sentence like, the new policy could lead to economic growth. On the other hand, it might also increase inequality. Okay, so we need not write this on the one hand, it can be skipped as well. This structure is used to emphasize the multifaceted nature of a topic. It means it emphasizes that one thing can have two or more aspects of it. For example, a coin has two sides or has two facets, that is the head and the tail part. Everything has two facets. One is the dark side and another is the positive side. So both the faces can be seen over here, and these connectors, this connector, it actually emphasizes that particular structure or particular nature that is multifaceted, highlighting that there are different ways to consider the issue. For example, if a person is rich or if a person is poor, if a person is healthy, or suppose if a person is someone who has killed another person, but because the other person, he was a culprit of something, or he was very you can say very cruel or very wicked, who used to you can say who used to torture everyone. Okay, so now this concept of this situation, one can have various opinions, or you can say different people can have different opinions on this theory. For example, one can say that this is good that he has done, another can say that this is bad that he has done, another one can say that he has taken the law in his hands. So these are various opinions which can be framed by different people. So this on the other hand shows that something can have two viewpoints, and maybe possible there are more than two viewpoints, so that those two or more viewpoints can be introduced or can be shown with the help of these connectors. Now, uses of on the other hand or on the other hand. Presenting contrasting views or arguments. This is basically on the one hand, and another one is on the other hand. On the one hand, the project could bring in more revenue. On the other hand, it might require a significant initial investment. Okay, so on the one hand, the project could bring in more revenue, whereas on the other hand, it might require a significant initial investment. Okay, so here if we say that on the one side the project is profitable, and the negative side of it is it might require a significant, it means it needs a capital investment, or you can say significant, it means much of the initial investment. So that is the drawback of the same project. Okay, so both the things, the advantage and disadvantages, has been shown in the same segment of the sentence. Now, balancing different aspects of a situation. So a situation can have different aspects, and both of them can be shown, can be balanced with the help of these connectors, that is on the one hand and on the other hand, or you can say this pair of connectors. On the one hand, the new law will benefit employees. On the other hand, it could pose challenges for small businesses. Okay, so the first thing is the benefit of the employees about the new law or from the new law, but at the other side, or on the other hand, it could pose challenges. It is challenging, it is making challenges for small businesses. Okay, so small businesses will suffer because of this new law. Okay, so here we can see advantage as well as drawback of the same law which has been introduced. Okay, now the third one is highlighting the pros and cons. Again, as I told you, that it will show you the advantage and disadvantage of the same thing. Now here we are talking about pros and cons. Pros and cons is a phrase that is used for something advantage and disadvantages shown together. On the one hand, working from home offers flexibility. Now they are saying about work from home, that is working from home offers flexibility. On the other hand, it can lead to a lack of work life balance. Okay, so work from home opportunity is good for all, but it leads to a lack of work life balance. It means you will not be in a schedule of work. It will be like it will provide you the flexibility. You will not maintain the routine, or you may be possible you are not able to maintain the routine with this. Now, discussing alternatives. On the one hand, we could travel by train to enjoy the scenery. On the other hand, flying would save us time. Okay, so what happens? On the other hand, we could travel by train to enjoy the scenery. It means if we go by train to somewhere else, we can enjoy the scenery or the spectacle of the you can say various spectacle of the way. Whereas it will definitely occupy or take a lot of time of us. But if we go by flight, that will save the time. So there are two aspects which we can see. Either we should save the time or see the spectacles. So we can have only one option, and that can be shown with the connector, that is on the other hand, by which we are showing the two aspects of the same thing. One can be positive, another can be negative, or maybe possible both are positive or both are negatives, but we have to sacrifice somewhere about something. Okay, so this is what we are showing with the help of this connector, that is on the other hand, that one we have to say one we have to sacrifice something for the another. Weighing decisions. So obviously, because two sides are there, one is positive and another is negative, so it balances both the situations of both the situations, or so it weigh the decisions. On the one hand, investing in stocks has the potential for high returns. On the other hand, it comes with greater risk. Now what happens if we have to make a decision? Suppose we are going to buy a car. We have two options, this or this, or maybe possible we have various options, but by seeing our budget, we have two categories of the options. Now what we have to go for is can be used with the on the other hand connector, because by that obviously we see the positive or the negative side of the things. In fact, whatever decision we are making in our life, whether it is related to the job, whether it is related to the phone you are purchasing, the mobile you are purchasing, clothes you are purchasing, or you can say anything that you are doing in your life, or any decision that you are making in your life, this connector will show you the positive and negative aspects of that particular decision. Also, it will show you various opportunities that are related to that decision. So this will definitely help you out while weighing the decisions or while making the decisions. Okay, as you can see over here that that here is a person who is discussing or who is thinking about investing in stocks, but he thinks that it will be of the greater risk. So he is having two viewpoints. One is positive, another is negative. One is that it will provide him the high returns, or the return on investment, that is ROI, or the profit. On the other hand, it comes with a greater it comes with greater risk. So this greater risk shows the negative aspect of the same investment. Okay, so here he can weigh his decision that which side is stronger. Okay, now showing the complexity of an issue. On the one hand, technological advancement has made life easier. On the other hand, it has led to certain privacy concerns. So this can show the complexity, because if you see various aspects of the same thing, you will be confused, or maybe possible you will go in dilemma that which option should be chosen. For example, as I told you about car, that it will make the decision easy. Maybe possible it will make your decision difficult to take. Why so? Because both the things that you are saying are being valued or weighed. Now you are not able to manage, or not now you are not able to decide where to go. Okay, so that can make the situation complex as well. Now we'll discuss the structure of on the other hand or on the other hand. The structure of using on the one hand as a contrasting connector, often paired with on the one hand, on the other hand is paired with on the one hand, typically follows this pattern. First of all, we'll have on the one hand clause. This phrase introduces the first point, perspective, or aspect of an argument or discussion. First argument or point. This is the content of the argument or perspective that follows on the one hand. On the other hand, this phrase introduces a contrasting or opposing point, perspective, or aspect. It signals a shift from the previous point to a different viewpoint. It means when we write on the one hand, okay, whenever we write on the one hand, we write a situation over here. After that, we write on the other hand. Now these two will be different viewpoints. Okay, these two will be different viewpoints. Now it can happen then that one is positive, another one is negative. Maybe possible both are positive or both are negative. So we cannot say that one should be positive and another will be negative. No, it is not like that. We can have different viewpoints. Only the viewpoints are different. Maybe possible both are positive, both are negative, or one is positive or another one is negative. But there are different viewpoints of the same thing that can occur, or you can say different situations are around us. Okay. Second argument point. This is the content of the contrasting argument or perspective that follows on the other hand. Now, whatever is written over here, it should contrast, or it should neglect, or it should you can say cancel the first viewpoint. Okay, it should be like which is just not you can say not considering or not obeying this point. So whatever is written over here should be different from the mentioned in the previous point. Okay, for example, on the one hand, using public transport helps reduce our carbon footprint. On the other hand, it can be less convenient than driving a personal vehicle. Okay, so on the one hand, using public transport has reduced our carbon footprint. So this is one point of using public transport. On the other hand, it can be less convenient than driving. Now that this public transport, this is less convenient as compared to what? As compared to drive a personal vehicle. Okay, so both the things, one thing is positive in something or another thing may be negative in something. So one can have various viewpoints or various situations that can occur by using that particular thing. Okay. In this structure, the first part on the one hand presents the positive aspect of using public transport, that is environmental benefit. In the second part, on the other hand, introduces a contrasting viewpoint, that is convenience issue. So, it is our choice whether we want to see the environment benefit or convenience issue. Okay. Now, there are a few examples of on the other hand phrase as follows. Let us discuss them. First, we have presenting contrasting views. On the one hand, online education offers flexibility. Now, whatever online education is there, it provides us flexibility and convenience. Okay, it is convenient. Why so? Because we can study by sitting at home. We need not go anywhere, so that will save our time, that will save our money, also the risk of going there. Okay. And it will provide us the flexibility because we can go anywhere and read it, or we can read it in any matter. For example, if someone is not feeling well, he can sit at some place, and he can read the he can understand, or he can take the classes. Maybe possible some people can take the classes afterwards by recording them as per their convenience. Okay. On the other hand, it lacks the interpersonal interaction. Now, these online classes, this will diminish the interpersonal interaction. It means the physical interaction, not the physical interaction. Actually, when the students, they are taught online, obviously the teacher can interact with them directly because they are sitting in front of him. Okay, so he can ask them anything, he can ask their doubts, he can solve them at the same place. But in online education, maybe possible whatever you are asking, teacher is not able to see that, or teacher has skipped the question among the various chats, so maybe possible he will not be able to communicate with you in that style. So these two are different viewpoints of the online and offline education. Okay. Now, balancing different aspects. On the one hand, urban living provides easy access to amenities and work. On the other hand, it often comes with higher living cost and noise. Now, obviously, if we live in a city, if there is urban living, it means people who come from villages or rural areas to urban areas to live over there. It means in city, so they they are provided with easy access to amenities and work. They get work over there, and but this will definitely comes with higher living cost, because whenever they go out of their home, they have to bear the cost of the rent and other things, and also the noise. For example, if someone is coming from the hill station to Delhi. Okay, now we know well that Delhi has too much population. Has too much pollution. Now, if someone from hill station, he comes to this place, he will not like the situation in Delhi, or maybe possible he will not be able to face the situation. Why so? Because he has lived in such an environment which is free of pollution, which is hazardous free. Though it was very risky, but it was really good. So he has lived in that particular place. So maybe possible he will be used to. He is used to of the condition occurring in these valleys. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Highlighting pros and cons. On the one hand, a plant-based diet can have health benefits. On the other hand, it requires careful planning to ensure all nutrition needs are met. Okay. Discussing alternatives. On the one hand, hiring more staff would accelerate the project. On the other hand, it would increase the project's overall costs. Weighing decisions. On the one hand, investing in real estate can be a stable long-term investment. On the other hand, the property market can be unpredictable and illiquid. Okay, so these can be the sentences relating to this viewpoint. Okay. Now, as you can see in this sentence, it is written, on the one hand, investing. Now, real estate. We know well that real estate, that is a property business. The job in that, or the business of property or real estate, it is a stable long-term investment. Still, The property market, obviously the rates of property are unpredictable, may be possible uh, at which time they will increase or at which time they will decrease, so this is unpredictable. Okay. Now, showing complexity, on the one hand, technological advancements have greatly improved communication. On the other hand, they have also led to corners, they have also led to concerns over data privacy and screen addiction. Okay. Now, this will lead to concerns. Now, what happened? Okay, they okay, have here it is written have, so lead will come. Okay, they have led also to concerns over data privacy and screen addiction. Now, we know well that technological advancements have greatly improved communication. Also, we are very happy. In fact, many pieces of work can be done easily with the help of technology. Still, we are addicted to a screen. It means we have to look at the computers, at the data, or in the laptops where our eyes are suffering. Okay. Now, this was connector on the other hand. Okay, or the pair on the one hand and on the another hand. Now we'll discuss another connector, that is while. This is WHILE, while. Okay. So what is the meaning of while? What is the use of while? How can we use this particular word? Let us see that. Now, the word while can be used as a contrasting connector in English to highlight differences or contradictions between two ideas, actions, or situations. Now, what happens? This while is, first of all, is actually a conjunction, and it can be also used as an adverb. Now, let us say that it is a connector. Okay, only connector. Now, if I say that this is the connector, it highlights the difference or contradictions between two ideas or situations or actions. Suppose there are two actions or there are two situations, and we are showing the contradictions between the two. This can be done with the help of while. Okay. When used in this way, while introduces a statement that is in contrast to another statement, often in the same sentence. Okay. This use of while emphasizes simultaneous or coexisting ideas that are different or opposed to each other. Okay, we can say they are opposite to each other. This use of while emphasizes simultaneous or coexisting ideas. It means one after the another type of situation, or the coexisting ideas. It means two ideas that are existing parallelly, or you can say just after one and the another. Okay, or one after the other, that are different or opposed to each other. It means they are opposite to each other. Okay, it means whatever the statements are with us, or whatever the ideas are with us, they are opposite with each other. It means we are simply using this word to compare two situations. Okay, to compare two situations. Uses of while, first of all, highlight differences in preferences or opinions. For example, while I enjoy hiking, my friend prefers to stay indoors and read. Now, there are two types of situation. First of all, about I, who enjoys hiking. Okay, so this is the one situation. Whereas it means, on the other hand, my friend, he prefers to stay indoors and read. So his hobby is reading, whereas my hobby is hiking. So these two situations are about two friends or their likings. Okay, so we can use while to show the difference. Okay. Juxtaposing contradictory situations of text. Juxtaposing means to write two contradictory or two things in a single line or side by side. Okay, juxtaposition means when we write something side by side. Okay, so that is known as juxtaposition. So here, while the north region experiences heavy rain, the south remains dry and arid. Now, we are talking about two regions. One is north region, another one is south. So these are two. Okay, so this is generally opposite, north to south. We are comparing experiences that north region. We are comparing rain in both the regions. In north region it is high, and in south it remains dry. It means no rain. Okay, little rain you can say. Okay, it means rain, little rain. It means rain which is negligible or which is equal to zero. Now, comparing divergent actions or events. While some companies are expanding rapidly, others are struggling to survive. So, this can be used to compare about the actions or events. So, some companies are expanding rapidly, whereas others are struggling to survive. It means there are something positive about some companies, whereas something negative about the different about other countries. Emphasizing contrast in characteristics or qualities. While the first model is known for its speed, the second is valued for its durability. It means there are two things, and there is some contrast between the two, or there is some difference between the two, which can be shown with the help of uh, this connector. That is, while the first model is known for its speed, it means for whichever the first model it was, suppose it is used for a car, for a bike, or etc. So the first model is known for its speed, the second is valued for its durability. Okay, it means it is durable. Now, showing disparity in behaviors or attitudes. While he is worrying out he is very outgoing, his sister is quite introverted. So in the same house, or in the same place, there are two siblings, that is, one is brother and another one is sister. And while he is very outgoing, it means this boy, he goes he's very, he likes going out very much, whereas his sister is quite different from him. Why so? Because she is quite introverted. It means she is reserved, and she does not easily communicate her thoughts to others. Now, balancing opposing viewpoints or ideas arguments. While traditional methods have their merits, modern techniques offer increased efficiency. So, here we are talking about modern techniques because they offer increased efficiency. Now, presenting contrasting evidence of findings. While recent studies suggest one conclusion, earlier research points to another. Okay, it means there is a recent study which shows us the one conclusion, either research points to another. Okay, a structure of while. Now we'll discuss the structure of while. First of all, we'll have while in the sentence. This is the basic structure. After that, idea of or clause 1, and then idea or clause 2. Okay, while I enjoy hiking, my sister prefers lounging on beach. Now this is one sentence. Okay, and this is another sentence. The sentence contrasts the speaker's preference for hiking with their sister's preference for relaxing on the beach. Okay, so this is how we can use this connector while. Okay, now there are a few examples of while. Let us see them. First of all, while Sarah is outgoing and sociable, her brother James is introverted and shy. It means he does not like going anywhere. He does not like talking to anyone. So this is how we can use while to show the comparison between the two. Now, while Sarah is outgoing and sociable, her brother James is introverted and shy. So here we are talking about two people. One is Sarah, and her brother, his name is James. So we are comparing these two persons. Now, while comparing, we can see that we are saying that while Sarah is outgoing and sociable, so this person, she's outgoing and sociable. Okay, it means she goes to everyone. Okay, or she talks with everyone. But James, he's a kind of introvert. It means he's very shy. He does not speak with all easily. or with everyone easily, whereas Sarah, she speaks with everyone, she's frank to everyone, she's frank with everyone, she speaks with everyone easily. Okay. Now this sentence contrasts Sahara's extroverted personality with James' introverted personality. While the first half of the book was engaging, the second half was rather dull. So we are comparing a book and its parts. Okay. So while the first half of the book was engaging, it means it was convincing. A person can continuously read it. Whereas the second half was rather dull. It means it was not interesting. So not all the people were ready to learn it. Okay, or read it. This sentence highlights the contrast between the engaging nature of the first half of the book and the less interesting into second half. While some people find is public speaking exhilarating, others find it terrifying. So public speaking can be liked by some people, and who are liking them was exhilarating, others find it's terrifying. So these are actually the now, this sentence contrasts the feelings and reactions of different individuals to public speaking. Okay, so others find it terrifying. It means some people find it public speaking exhilarating. So they are talking about, they are comparing public speaking on the basis of two things. That first viewpoint is that it is exhilarating, whereas other finds it terrifying. It means they said that this is not good, or this is dangerous. Now, if the sentence contrasts the feelings and reactions of different individuals to public speaking, it means if there is a place which has been talked about, or the market of some area has been talked about, that here the roads are constructed, here everything is fine, whereas on the same in the same situation, may be possible the city is not very much developed, or the person who is ruling that city is not good. May be possible there are some other reasons to show the negativeness in that particular action. So this is how we use these type of connectors. While the company's revenue increased this year, its profits actually decreased. So now we are talking about company's revenue increased this year. It means it is in profit, whereas its profit actually decreased. Here, while contrast the revenue and profit trends, showing that one increased while the other decreased. Now, while I appreciate your invitation, I won't be able to attend the event. This sentence uses while to acknowledge the invitation, but then introduces the contrasting decision not to attend. While the morning was sunny and warm, the afternoon brought heavy rain. Contrast the weather conditions in the morning with those of the afternoon. While some people thrive are under pressure, or others crumble. Okay, so thrive under pressure, it means if they are under pressure, others can crumble. So this example emphasizes the different responses people have to pressure situations. Now we'll discuss another connector, that is whereas. Now whereas is very important connector to show the contradiction between two sentences. When we compare one to another, we use the phrase whereas, and this is a very useful connector to compare two things together. The meaning of whereas. Whereas is a contrasting connector used to introduce a contrast or opposition between two clauses or statements in a sentence. Okay. It often used to provide an alternative perspective, present a different viewpoint, or set up a comparison between two countries or ideas. Two contrasting ideas. It is between two contrasting ideas. Okay, set up a comparison between two contrasting ideas. Here is the basic structure. First of all, we'll have I love hiking, whereas my brother prefers indoor activities. This statement contrasts the speaker's love for the outdoor activities with their brother's performance in indoor games. Comparison of two ideas or supplements. Whereas is often used to compare and contrast two different pieces of information. The first candidate has excellent qualifications, whereas the second candidate lacks relevant experience. It means here we have talked about two candidates who have to appear in their exams, but they have not much qualification. Okay, so first one, she has excellent conversation and qualification, whereas the second candidate lacks relevant experience. It means he does not learn anything right now. The weather was warm yesterday, whereas today it is freezing cold. So here you can see that another example, the weather was warm yesterday, whereas today is freezing cold. Now, introduction of a counter argument. Counter argument means argument over argument. Whereas can be employed to introduce a counter argument that opposes a previously mentioned point. Many people believe in climate change. So this is one clause. Whereas some skeptics argue that it is normal occurrence. Now this is you can say the introduction. Okay. So um, so here according to this, the second is an example of the above. Highlighting contrasting information. Now, another is highlighting contrasting information. Whereas is used to emphasize the differences between two related pieces of information. Okay, it means two pieces of information are given to us, and this highlight or this actually contrast between the two situations, and also highlighting that particular this connector is emphasizing on the point that it is actually the contradiction of previously said statement. She enjoys spending in time outdoors. Okay, she enjoys spending time outdoors. Okay, whereas her brother prefers indoor activities. So these are two opinions about two different people. The company's revenue increased this quarter, whereas its profit margin has decreased. Okay, so this is how we can use whereas to compare the two situations. Setting up contrasting descriptions. Whereas can be used to contrast the characteristics or qualities of different subjects or objects. The old model was reliable but lacked modern features, whereas the new model is packed with advanced technology. Indicating a shift in focus. Whereas can signal a shift in the topic or focus in a sentence. Okay, so it indicates the shift in the focus. It means whereas whenever we shift the focus of something, or whenever we shift the topic or change the topic, it shows us the comparison between the two. In the morning she has focused on work, whereas in the evening she enjoys relaxation and leisure. Legal and formal documents. Whereas is commonly used in legal and formal documents to introduce statements of fact or background information. Whereas the parties to this agreement have agreed to the following terms and conditions. Structure of whereas. The structure of sentence using whereas typically follows this pattern. First of all, we'll have clause 1, whereas, then clause 2. Clause 1, this clause is the first part of the sentence and often presents an idea, fact, or a statement. Whereas this is the contrasting connector that signals a shift in focus or introduces a contrast with the information presented in the clause 1. This is the second part of the sentence and contrasts with or opposes the information in clause 1. Now, clause 1, he enjoys reading novels, whereas clause 2, his sister prefers watching movies. So in this sentence, clause 1 mentions the person's enjoyment of reading novels, and whereas introduces clause 2, which presents the contrasting preference of the person's sister of watching movies. Examples of whereas. She enjoys studying in quiet places, whereas her brother prefers to work in background music. This sentence contrasts the sister's preference for a quiet study environment with her brother's preference for background music while working. The old house was charming and full of character, whereas the new one is sleek and modern. Whereas is used here to highlight the differences in a critical styles between the old and the new ones. While some countries have a strict gun control laws, gun while some countries have strict gun control laws, others have more permissive regulations, whereas a few have banned firearms altogether. Okay, it means there can be different opinions of different countries. So here, with that help, we can see all that. The sentence uses whereas to introduce a series of contrasting positions on gun control in different countries. Now, the morning committee is usually peaceful, whereas the evening rush hour is a chaotic experience. Here, whereas emphasizes the contrast between the morning and the evening commuting experiences. John excels in mathematics, where Sarah shines in literature. So, this sentence contrasts John's proficiency in mathematics with Sarah's strength in literature. The company's revenue has been steadily increasing, whereas its competitors are struggling to maintain their market share. Whereas is used to show the contrast between the company's positive revenue trend and its competitors' difficulties. Whereas some people are early birds to wake up at dawn, others are might only who stay up late into the night. This example uses whereas to contrast different sleep patterns and preferences. He was known for his frugality and saving habits, whereas his spouse and had a penchant for extravagant spending. Whereas highlights the contrasting financial behaviors of the two individuals. The first movie in the service was blockbuster hit, whereas the sequel received mixed reviews from the critics. This sentence contrasts the success of the first movie with the mixed capital reputation of the sequel. Whereas some people find public speaking exhilarating, for others find it terrifying. This example emphasizes the differing emotional reactions people have to public speaking. So these were some connectors that we have discussed in this session. All these were contrasting connectors where we have discussed various connectors, their uses, their structure, and the examples of these connectors. I hope you have understood each and every concept of this session. Thanks to you.